This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
It saddens me to announce that as of earlier this morning, we as a state have lost our first Hoosier to the coronavirus, COVID-19.
A somber announcement from the governor of Indiana, the first death in the state related to the coronavirus. Good evening at 7 o'clock. Officials say the person who died was a Marion County resident and was considered a high-risk patient over the age of 60. Governor Eric Holcomb says the death shows how severe COVID-19 can be. He also announced new statewide restrictions to help stop the spread. Hospitals and ambulatory surgical centers should cancel and/or postpone elective and non-urgent surgical procedures immediately. No in-person events of more than 50 people are recommended. Bars, nightclubs, and restaurants are required to close to in-person customers through the end of the month. Takeout and delivery services may be offered. Well, during today's news conference, the governor described the fight against the coronavirus as war.
We are, make no mistake about it, at war with COVID-19, and we will win this war, which requires us on a daily, if not hourly basis, to be nimble enough, agile enough to update our battle plan. And when I say us, I mean all of us, each doing their part.
Also today, Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett issued even stricter guidelines in Marion County. His executive order declares a local disaster emergency and issues a watch-level local travel advisory. So that means only essential travel is advised, like going to and from work, buying groceries, or picking up prescriptions.
And this afternoon, the White House also recommended strict social distancing guidelines. The Coronavirus Task Force says over the next 15 days, people should not gather in groups of more than 10 people. President Trump says right now he is not considering a national lockdown or quarantine.
At this point, not nationwide, but well, there are some some places in our nation that are not very affected at all. But we may look at certain areas, certain hot spots as they call them. We'll be looking at that, but at this moment, no, we're not.
The outbreak continues to create panic on Wall Street. The Dow closed down nearly 3,000 points. This 13% drop is the worst since 1987. Financial experts say there are fears the coronavirus will throw the global economy into a recession.
With schools closed due to the COVID-19 outbreak, putting food on the table is a major concern for many families. A reminder, many districts are still finding ways to offer free meals. Indianapolis Public Schools is providing free breakfast and lunch through April 3rd. Food will be distributed between 11 to 1 Monday through Friday at the 7 locations listed on your screen right now. Meal service is open to all kids age 18 and younger, including students who are not in the IPS district. The district's mobile truck, the Bus Stop Cafe, will also offer meals through April 3rd at 2 apartment complexes, Blackburn Terrace from 11 to 11:30 and Laurelwood Apartments from 12:30 to 1.
And many groups and organizations are also helping fill the need for healthy families. That includes iTown Church. It has created drive-through distribution centers for families.
Families can pull up, they can receive food either put in their trunk or in their back seat. They can pull up to another station if they need some encouragement and prayer. We'll do completely drive-through. This is our job. We as the church, we are the hope of the world. We are the ones that should respond first. When there is a great need in our community, we can't let children go hungry on our watch, and we're not going to.
The church plans to serve 10,000 children over a 2-week span. You can find a list of all the distribution centers and a schedule by clicking on this story on our website at theindychannel.com. And Westminster Neighborhood Services on the Near East Side is modifying how it provides food to families in need. The food pantry is now a walk-up service, and there will be no warm meals served. The pantry itself is closed. Representatives say the impact of the coronavirus outbreak is hitting many clients hard.
You can hear the panic in their voice. They don't know what they're going to do. They don't know where their next meal's going to come from. You can hear the worry. You can definitely hear the worry. Most of our neighbors, not all of them, but most of them already kind of live in that low income, and with income maybe being taken away because they don't have to stay home with their kids, it definitely increases that. So they're worried.
Westminster is working on securing to-go meals to give out in place of the soup kitchen meals that are usually served.
The latest travel and social distancing restrictions have many people concerned about future plans, even flights and trips booked in the summer and fall. Scripps reporter Sina Slim has advice from a travel agent.
Coronavirus is raising safety concerns for travelers. It's been keeping travel agent Alan Witt busy, to say the least.
Well, it's been really tough on me and other travel agents.
But not because people have been booking flights, but because they're canceling them.
You spend a lot of your day trying to talk people off of that ledge, trying to figure out if they should go or not.
Witt says he has clients going on trips as far out as September and looking to cancel. With so many questions surrounding the virus up in the air, it's hard to predict where we'll be in a few months.
But anything that's a mystery is scary, and this is a mystery. We have no idea how it's going to play out.
While the CDC recommends people not travel to China, Iran, South Korea, and most of Europe, Witt says when it comes to traveling, people should trust their travel agent. He is also encouraging clients to get canceled for any reason travel insurance if they do book a flight.
Because too many things are going on, you need to be prepared in case you can't go on a trip. You don't want to lose that money. Vacations are very expensive.
He has also noticed some younger folks taking advantage of cheap flights. His warning to those travelers, if you go, you might not be able to get the full experience.
And that was Sina Sleem reporting. Many travel sites, hotels, and even airlines are allowing more cancellations when they usually would not due to the outbreak. Grand Princess cruise ship passengers from Indiana are finally back home after being in quarantine in Georgia. Last night, RTV6 talked to Vicki Fisher from Muncie and another woman from Indianapolis. They had been quarantined at Dobbins Air Force Base in Georgia since last week after getting off the cruise ship in California. More than 20 people on board tested positive for COVID-19. There's a lot of information to cover related to the outbreak. You can find everything you need to know anytime on our website, theindychannel.com/coronavirus.
Temperatures will continue to warm as we go through the week, all close to the mid-40s now. A gray day across central Indiana, 47 in Muncie, 47 in Bloomington. No real advantage to north or south, although it is a little cooler in Peru. We've had some light rain showers. You can see now instead of the north side of Indy, it's down to toward the airport, Southport, Greenwood, into northern portions of Shelby County. These showers will just continue to move to the east and won't cause much of a problem. Our rain chances, as you can see, will diminish quickly tonight. We're dry for St. Patrick's Day. We'll talk about the changes that come after tomorrow. Coming up, but 53, that's our goal on St. Patrick's Day. I'll let you know when we'll push 70 degrees in just a couple minutes. We'll be right back.
Work weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m.
The coronavirus outbreak is impacting thousands of people who are not diagnosed with the virus. Those who do not get any paid sick days are also getting hit hard. RTV6 reporter Kara Kenny talked with advocates who say solutions are in the works.
Even with this pandemic going on, a lot of people still have to get to work. Yet nearly a third of Hoosier workers do not get any paid sick days.
Desiree Edwards is a married mom of 3 kids. She works at Taco Bell on Washington Street to help the family make ends meet. But the restaurant, like many others, closed its dining room amid coronavirus concerns. Desiree is among the 1/3 of Hoosier workers with no paid sick time.
Do you worry about a sickness facing your family?
Yes, I do, because I come in contact with people through the drive-thru, and you never know who comes through that drive-thru that may have the sickness as well. And not everybody's going to fess up to whether they have it or not. Who wants people to know that they have a virus that is going to affect other people?
For many workers in Indiana, they do not get paid if they don't show up. The Indiana Institute for Working Families has been trying to change that by pushing Indiana lawmakers to create minimum requirements for paid leave, but they've been unsuccessful. Desiree Edwards hopes she doesn't get sick and that her children stay healthy too. In Indianapolis, Kara Kenny, RTV6.
The governor's office said this afternoon he's looking at all options to address the impact on Hoosier workers. U.S. Congress is also working on legislation related to paid sick leave.
Our coverage of the coronavirus outbreak continues. Coming up, ideas to help keep kids entertained during their long break from school.
It's uncharted territory, to be as sick as I am.
And next, an Ohio man speaks from his hospital bed, sharing what life is like as a coronavirus patient.
First month's payment and 0 to its signing. Practically just sign then drive.
This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
This is the worst way in the world to go. I'm going to suffocate on dry land.
An Ohio man who tested positive for COVID-19 is sharing his story from his hospital bed. Caroline Sweeney from our Scripps partner in Cleveland reports.
I was leaning over the side of the bed, throwing up, thinking and out loud, oh Jehovah God, please don't let me die like this.
Don't let me die like this. 6 words Kevin Harris never thought he'd speak.
Do I want to die suffocating and then going into cardiac arrest at the same time?
That's how COVID-19 feels for him. Lying in a bed at Mercy Hospital in Trumbull County is his new reality. His visitors are limited and heavily protected.
That's you, and that's me.
This is a Facebook Live from inside his hospital room. The first glimpse we're getting of a life with a severe case of COVID-19. Where he got it, he's not completely sure, but he has been in touch with investigators from the health department.
It's uncharted territory to be as sick as I am and be the first case in our area.
Harris says he was healthy until he wasn't. He spent a week at home thinking he had the flu, waiting almost too long.
This is the worst way in the world to go. I'm going to suffocate on dry land.
COVID-19 is spreading rapidly. As testing becomes more available, the numbers will go up. Harris says this pandemic will change the world.
It already has, and I think it's going to bring everybody closer.
Right now, Harris doesn't know when he'll leave the hospital.
Yeah, that's the cough.
Minutes before we talked to him, he got good news. His lungs are improving.
I'll see you.
And that was Caroline Sweeney reporting. Harris says he only came in contact with a few people before checking into the hospital, and they all tested negative for the virus.
Schools across Indiana, the country, and the world are closed for several weeks in an attempt to stop the spread of the virus. That, combined with mass closures of parks and attractions, may have some families already feeling cabin fever. Scripps reporter Russell Haythorne shares some ways to stay entertained at home.
The good news is it's getting warmer outside. So pick-up basketball games with the neighbors, going to the park, bike rides are definite options. But there's some parental anxiety about the inevitable days when it's not so nice.
We're going to have a hard time if we have to be inside.
Mother of 2 boys, Sarah Lohmeyer.
Did you hear yet that they canceled March Madness?
What?
I know.
I'm so depressed now.
Is trying her best to stay positive.
We'll be spending a lot of time in the backyard and in the park and anywhere that there's, room to play baseball and basketball.
Experts offer this advice to cure cabin fever. Get artsy, create slime, paint a family portrait, make a kite, go low tech, break out the board games and have a week-long tournament. Whip it up, fix some grub, try a new dish, or bake a cake. If you're in it for the long haul, here's an idea to stop from going stir crazy. The nonprofit called Project Helping, which is Denver-based, has kits called Kind Kits, volunteer projects you can literally do at home.
So, for example, we have a kit I was just building across the hall that's a sensory kit for foster children. You actually build a care package and write a card and decorate an envelope.
Those care packages are then delivered to foster kids going through the system.
And so it's a really cool way for them to get something and know someone cares about them.
That was Russell Haythorne reporting. You can find those care kits at kyndkit.com. Again, that's kyndkit.com.
Now to the forecast. Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory joins us now with that. Kevin.
And we'll flash back to that Saturday snow here for a second. 1.2 officially. Good packing snow for the winter. 16.2. Typically 26 inches is what we average then for the winter season. Of course, we haven't made it to spring officially, but our days are numbered for snow. You saw how quickly we got rid of any evidence of that over the weekend, and this week is about rising temperatures. When we get to Wednesday, should make it to 60 degrees. Warmest day appears to be Thursday. The only thing that complicates the temperature forecast will be rainfall and even some thunderstorms. Not expecting severe storms at this time. We'll watch our rain rainfall potential because some spots by the end of the week could see 2 to maybe 3 inches of rain, especially to the south. Tomorrow, we're dry for your St. Patrick's Day. It's the rain chance Wednesday and Thursday that skyrockets, comes back down a bit Friday. All of that sets the stage for a transition to much cooler temperatures by the weekend. 3 different forecast models, anywhere from 1.25 inches to almost 2.25 inches for Indianapolis. As I mentioned, you know how thunderstorms work. You can get a quick downpour, some heavy rain in spots. So you may see 1 inch in an hour's period of time with some of the thunderstorms. Between Morristown and Shelbyville, there's some rain moving across Interstate 74, 465 and I-65 on the south side, some light rain showers. Big picture, nothing heavy tonight. Just some very light showers around through the overnight into the morning. So I think we'll hold on to more clouds first thing in the morning, then pick up more sunshine in the afternoon. There are your temperatures tomorrow, reaching 50 degrees or a little warmer. It will depend on the sky cover. If we get rid of some of the clouds, and the forecast models definitely show some breaks in there for a while, that will help us warm things up on your St. Patrick's Day. Temperatures to the north, anywhere north of Indy, struggle to around 50 degrees. Should be low 50s, Interstate 70, and then when you get to the south, maybe the mid 50s, foreshadowing where temperatures are headed as we get to the middle of the week. Biggest change Wednesday won't be so much the temperature, it'll be the rain, and it comes in and it'll be fairly widespread. 7 a.m. Wednesday, we're dry. Not the case by 10 over the western half of the state. Put that in motion. Widespread rain in the afternoon, some of it may be heavy at times. That's the first wave of rain in what I think could be 2 or 3 ultimately by the time we get through Friday, and that opens the door to this much cooler weather. 38 Saturday, Sunday's high at 46 degrees. Put it this way, dry tomorrow, wet, very wet Wednesday, Thursday into Friday morning, then the colder temperatures and dry conditions for the weekend.
Kevin, thank you. Now back to our coverage of the coronavirus outbreak. As the virus spreads, so does some misinformation. Scripps reporter Chris Stewart is getting answers about transmission, treatments, and separating other facts from fiction.
Let's set the record straight on coronavirus. The CDC says symptoms of COVID-19 include fever, coughing, and shortness of breath. Symptoms can appear between 2 and 14 days after exposure. While doctors draw comparisons to the flu,
coronavirus is also interesting because it doesn't seem to be quite as infectious as common influenza.
Dr. Shauna Gully with the large health system Centra Health has worked with coronavirus patients during this outbreak.
Many of those people are quite well and have very minimal symptoms and do not need additional interaction with the healthcare system.
But
we do believe in people that are perhaps older or have multiple medical problems or anything that makes your immune system weaker, that coronavirus may be more dangerous than influenza.
Dr. Gully says it's still unclear why coronavirus has been mild in children. So what do the experts say you should do?
First of all, the worry about going and getting toilet paper, I don't think that should be first and foremost on anyone's list today.
And while it is important to be prepared,
we are seeing people come into our environments and take soap, masks, and other supplies home to try to stockpile in their homes. One of our hospitals actually had all of their soaps and hand sanitizers stolen last week.
Speaking of hand sanitizer,
the myths around putting it on your body or on your face is where we get into trouble. Those things are not safe for people to do.
The CDC says people at a higher risk should avoid crowds. Dr. Gully says it's a good idea to keep your space.
We believe that staying about 6 feet away from somebody with symptoms is the most protective space.
As the number of cases grows in the U.S., public anxiety may be growing with it. So don't fear communicating if you're dealing with another kind of medical issue.
If you're an allergy sufferer, I think it's important for you to talk to others about the fact that you have allergies and for them to be a little bit more assured that you're not infective, you have no fever, you have no deep cough, and you have no risk factors for coronavirus.
But if you are experiencing any of these symptoms, the CDC says call your doctor.
Pizza better than a sandwich? Papa John's.
As I mentioned, warming trend starts tomorrow, finishes Thursday and Friday, and then much colder as we get to the weekend.
Our coverage continues on the IndyChannel.com/coronavirus.
And we will see you tonight at 11.